of the Meek, where we watch made-for-TV movies and miniseries so you don't have to. From Gia to Xenon, Hysteria to Sybil, welcome to Movies of the Meek.
Christmas at the Playhouse is the 1988 television special for the show Pee-wee's Playhouse. It stars Lawrence Fishburne as Cowboy Curtis, Little Richard as himself, Grace Jones as Grace Jones, Katie Lang as Katie Lang, as Oprah Winfrey. It has Cher. It has Charo. It has fucking Zsa Zsa Gabor. It's the single greatest television special in the history of man. And that's why I've been watching it every year since I've been able to have actual memories form in my brain. And I love it with a fiery, unbridled passion. Narrative structure-wise, it has really only one plot device, which is fruitcakes. And it is that Pee-wee, over the course of the film, gets a fruitcake from every single guest that comes. And at the end of the film, it has enough fruitcakes that he is able to build a new addition to the Playhouse entirely out of fruitcakes, which is being built by two insanely jacked, shirtless men. And it's absolutely amazing. There's also another narrative theme, which is this woman singing the 12 Days of Christmas, and she does that through the entire second half of the film. Other than that, it is just people coming in and out and being absolutely incredible.
Is this the way the show was structured?
Yeah, kind of.
Just kind of like skits and like celebrities coming in and...
Yeah, and it's a lot of, there's obviously like a loose theme, but yeah, it's a lot of just kind of random stuff and having kind of one moral lesson, and then a lot of the segments that happen in the Christmas special also are part of the show. So the King of Cartoons, obviously in the Christmas special, has a Christmas cartoon, which is I think that cartoon's from 1933. It's a really famous one. And then the Penny cartoon, Penny does also have...
I've seen that before.
Penny also does have segments in the regular Pee-wee's Playhouse, which while watching it, it kind of reminded me of like, did you ever watch like Dinosaur Cop?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that if you just like let a kid tell you a story.
It's like stream of consciousness, like animation. It was pretty fucking amazing. It's like very, very like out of place in the context of the show. Like he was like, "Oh, here's Penny."
Yeah, and she's just like, I had this dress, and I built a dress, and it's weird to get a dress like that because kids don't normally have dresses like that. And then there's the tree, and we have the lights, and there's really bright lights, and then that's it. It just ends.
Like, thanks, Penny, and then it just moves right into the next thing.
There's also Pee-wee has people making Christmas cards for him.
Are those regulars on the show?
Yeah. So
he's using them as slave labor to make Christmas cards.
So he's using them as slave labor to make Christmas cards, and he literally goes as far as when they say, "Pee-wee, we're starving," he gives them bread and water.
The music gets really dark when he talks to them.
It's so good.
Yeah, this fucking thing was funny. I like this. It was wild.
And so much of it, like, there's the meta-narrative stuff where it's like the Rita the mail lady comes in and asks him how the special's going, and he's like, I don't know, I think it's okay. And then he asks whether or not it's going well, and he's like, same to you. And then the show just keeps going. And my favorite one of all the things, there's the obvious one where it's like he uses the yo-yo and it smacks into the camera, and he says, we probably need a new camera. But my favorite one is when he's helping little Richard ice skate.
Oh my God.
And he's telling him all you have to do is practice. And then it shows, Pee-wee, quote unquote, ice skating. And he's sailing around, and it looks majestic and beautiful. And then it cuts back to Pee-wee, and he's like, see, I'm incredible. And Little Richard is, talking about how amazing he is. And then it shows the stunt double walk in. It's just so genius that it's like all this stuff that's like edited in continuity makes sense to the people that saw it, but then it's a stunt double and they show you the stunt double. It's like so fucking bizarre.
There were definitely parts of it that like didn't work. There were weaker skits and everything.
Yeah.
Which I feel like this is, like you said, like the structure of one of the episodes just drawn out for 50 minutes.
Yeah.
But like some of them really worked.
Yeah.
It was like really, really funny.
Yeah.
Oh God. The whole I mean, my favorite part, you're gonna hate this.
Okay.
Was the commercials. I think it added to the whole experience. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we typically don't watch these movies with commercials.
Yeah.
And to see commercials from the time period, and I don't know, it was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like the commercials are just as fucking crazy as this special was.
Yeah.
But one of the things it did like was like all the claymation work.
Yeah. There's a lot of claymation.
I guess because they obviously didn't have access to, fancy, whatever the computer graphics of the day were.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like collage work and claymation stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick. There isn't even like, usually we like go through a movie.
Yeah.
But there really isn't a plot. It was like, it was just people coming over and hanging out, and like he's just getting fruitcake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that literally like the narrative through line is fruitcake. Which is brilliant.
I mean, it's funny every time he gets more fruitcake.
Yeah.
Especially when the Jewish lady comes over and gives him 7
Yeah.
fruitcakes.
And that's also, one of the things that I love is the sound design for Pee-wee's Playhouse has always been amazing. But then every time he gets a fruitcake and he places it on the countertop, it's like a sound of a piece of steel being like slammed against a counter. It's so good. Like the sound design's genius.
Yeah, he gets the small fruit cake from the fridge.
Yeah.
And even that makes a small like little metal ding noise when he places it.
The whole thing with you have, so he sees the cow, the cow comes and he talks to her for a while, and she's like a very wealthy cow. And so he's talking to her, and then Zsa Zsa Gabor comes, and it's just such a weird situation with Zsa Zsa Gabor. I don't know, it's a strange person to have on that show because, I don't know, she's one of those public figures where I don't think most people understood what the gimmick was. And it's kind of, Charo is kind of the same thing, because I know that like before I found Charo's guitar music, I didn't really get the deal with Charo.
Can you explain Charo to me? Like, can you and I break her down?
And so that's the thing, is that, in the I would say late 60s, early 70s, Charo was basically the joke is that she was Hispanic and talked fast in her native language, and people didn't understand what she was saying, and that was hilarious. That was basically...
That was it?
That was it in the 70s. And so when she had a television special, like the two things that I remember from her television special was like this like 5-minute long sketch where like she didn't understand what hot dogs were. And it's like, once again, it's like this really long drawn out thing where Charo is just like not understanding, and there's this disconnect, and she's just like coochie coochie coochie, and she's like talking to these guys, and they're just like, oh, this broad's crazy. And then the other thing that I remember is, they told her basically, do your gimmick that you do on everything, and then do one thing that you actually want to do. And she was like, I love to play guitar. And so in her hour-and-a-half long special, there is like a 5-minute sequence of her playing guitar, and it's beautiful. And that's when I went, okay, she's incredible.
She played great on this special.
Oh yeah, she's great. Yeah.
like I knew her like for her, you know, she'd kind of talk funny and like talk fast and everything.
Yeah.
From I mean, she was relevant 30 years ago, but you know, she's been in things since then.
Yeah.
In the 90s and stuff. So, but yeah, I didn't know she'd play guitar like that.
Yeah, she's her just playing Feliz Navidad is not even close to what she's capable of, you know.
Dude.
Yeah, she's an incredible flamenco guitar player.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, and so that's the thing, is that she, like Zsa Zsa Gabor, are kind of this interesting character to just kind of bring on. And also all I could think of is, like, if you've ever seen that Danny Brown interview where he's talking about, like, old white ladies that he wants to fuck.
I have not seen it.
He brings up Elvira and Zsa Zsa Gabor, and I was like, yo, Danny Brown is bringing up some weird people that he wants to fuck. Like, agreed with Elvira, but Zsa Zsa's like a weird lady to bring up.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
It was just like overall a weird selection of celebrities on this, on this special.
Yeah.
Is that like on the regular show? Does that hold true? Does he bring on?
Not that many people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the amount of people that were on this, you know, and especially with this special, it was kind of it kind of seemed like it was also making a mockery of the amount of people that you have on a special.
The opening was him just listing off everyone who was in it, and it took like a full minute to get through everybody.
And then, like, you get to the first person that's a guest, and it's Oprah Winfrey, and it's just him telling her that he can't be on the special, and she asks if she can be on next year. He's like, maybe 2 years, and she's like, okay, see you in 2 years. And he's like, maybe. Which they sadly never had another Christmas special, but that's fine.
What's the deal with Flory?
Flory?
Because we only get a little bit of Flory in this.
You only get a little bit of dialogue from him. He is a bigger character in the show. The only dialogue that you get from him is when they're talking about the mistletoe and how when you stand under mistletoe, you have to kiss the person that you're standing under mistletoe with, which I fucking hate mistletoe because of that reason. I think it's terrible. It's the fucking worst. And so everyone is just like, hey, stand by me, come stand by me. And then Flory goes, hey, come stand over me. And she goes, coming, Flory, darling. And yeah, Flory scared the shit out of me as a kid.
He's just a creep.
He's just a part of the floor, which is like, it just is what it is. Like, basically the idea is, if I remember correctly, when they move into the Playhouse, that section of the floor is covered up, and they don't know why it's covered up, and they're deciding what to do with that section, and they want to start doing construction in that area to fix it up. And then when they pull it up, they see that it's, you know, anthropomorphic and the floor can talk, and they're like, oh shit, like, we can't do anything here. And he's like, hey, I'm a floor.
Is the first episode Pee-wee moving in and realizing everything in his house talks? Like the windows.
And that's, you know, one of the
flowers.
The other characters that I always thought was really fucking weird is, so he has Cherry, and then he has another chair that's a dog, and that one legitimately barks. Like, it's also a chair, but it's a dog chair. It's very strange.
He also has little dinosaurs living in his wall.
Yeah, that are Jewish. Which is a new development to the canon at that point, but it's appreciated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be it for, he fucking terrified me as a child.
He was scary in this.
Yeah, his fucking eyes.
I never watched the show, but I saw the movie.
Okay.
Big Adventure.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff's coming back to me, but that movie was structured a lot differently than the show was.
Yeah.
It was an actual movie.
It was indeed an actual movie.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is a whole new world for me, man. this Pee-wee thing. Is there an IMDb for this?
Yeah. I mean, all right, so
It's even worse.
Obvious standout moment of this entire thing is at the very end. So you have this one character that continues interjecting with the fact that he doesn't believe in Santa Claus and he doesn't like Christmas.
What's his name?
And so
Was the puppet?
yeah, and so Pee-wee, of course, keeps telling him that he should stop doing that and that Christmas is a great thing, and he's just like, the problem is that Christmas is just a commercialized product and it's just like basically feeding into our subculture of greed. And Pee-wee just goes, that's not what Christmas is about. You're forgetting what Christmas is about. And he's like, what is it about? And Pee-wee goes, tell him, magic screen. And then the robot voice comes on that's just like, the Christmas is about the importance of the birth of the Christ child.
It's just a church full of children. It is so funny.
That's so good.
So this was a show that was aimed towards children, right? This is a children's show, okay. But they snuck in like weird kind of fucked
really
up
weird stuff. Yeah. Like the one. The one that I enjoy in the very beginning is when he's compiling his Christmas list and he goes, one of the dolls that you fill with the ooey gooey stuff.
Yeah, this, like, I was watching this, I was just ready for like a Wonder Chosen type gory mess to happen at any time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I understand where they got that from.
Yeah.
From like shows like this. So.
Yeah. And obviously, like, once again, because it is a children's show, it has that through line of like the lesson of Christmas is a time where we should do things for others.
Yeah.
And he resolves that, and he ends up helping Santa deliver all the gifts, and it's a wonderful time. Now there's some IMDb trivia. Which is that the choir of Marines was actually the men's choir of UCLA.
I forgot about the Marines.
Just in Marine uniforms. The producers had hoped to book the actual Marine Corps choir, but they were unavailable at the time.
Oh, damn. This is how this special starts, with Marines, the Marine choir.
And it's a lie. Cher's cameo was taped in only 25 minutes as she was whisked in and out of the studio due to heavy schedule, and she was doing a promotional tour at the time. The lighting apparatus used for Miss Yvonne's hair actually shorted out and smoked during the production. The crew had to intervene and remove the power pack from under her wardrobe and remove the wig which housed the lighting.
Oh my god.
In order to secure Magic Johnson's appearance, the producers had it arranged to film just under an hour on a Saturday, as he had a game scheduled later in the day while he was with the Los Angeles Lakers. And last but not least, Katie Lang was asked by Paul Rubin to be on the show after hearing her first record, in which it was given to him by Warner Brothers. Her segment took the longest to film, nearly half a day.
Damn.
My boy Katie is a perfectionist.
That's a good performance.
And I did think she was a boy. Grace Jones fucking kills it, though. She's the best. When Grace Jones shows up and they thought that instead of being delivered to the Playhouse, she was supposed to be delivered to the White House. And then she comes out. It's so good. During the end credits, Dinah Shore continues to sing 12 Days of Christmas, and after the credits, she asks where Pee-wee was, and, because it was a mannequin of Pee-wee, he does not respond.
That's my favorite bit. It's so good.
Oh, genius. Yeah. I mean...
Is that all the trivia?
That's it.
Oh, not any goofs?
No goofs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
tight production.
It's a flawlessly put together special. Yeah.
That set must have been fucking chaos. Like, They have like I don't know how they're moving the puppets, like the robot, and they had the pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And that's in terms of actual camera work and stuff like that, there are some things that I legitimately enjoy, and there are some kind of like interplays with the perspective that I enjoy, like taking the Charo scene, for example. I really do enjoy how it's originally starting up with, you have the foundation of the piñata and everything, and then there's Charo by herself, and she starts singing Feliz Navidad, and then Pee-wee is gonna hit the piñata, and they spin him around, and then they let him go, and they're focusing on Charo, and then Pee-wee just walks into the background. It's just like this nice little like joke of him walking into frame, and I don't know, it plays off really well. And they do a few times of like the perspective of they'll change the angle to the piñatas in the foreground and Charo's in the background, and then Pee-wee's just kind of wandering around.
But it's like it's cutting to people's reactions to it, and like everyone's just like, oh my god, he's gonna hit her. It's that was a good one.
It's not poorly filmed or anything. Like there are interesting things throughout it. And like you said, the green screen effect is better than fucking Toothless.
Oh yeah, way better. Yeah, we get an awesome green screen of Pee-wee and Santa on the sled at the it was during the credits, I guess.
Yeah.
It was like they weren't translucent, so that was cool.
Next week we'll be doing the Max Landis and guy that did Suicide Squad film Bright. It's on Netflix now.